Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a nice windswept Cardiff. We are at the moment sort of in the middle of Storm Amy, and as you can see, it's made a bit of a mess of the gazebo. Yeah, it's not good. So, the point of today's video. I am getting totally fed up of every time I try and work out here, and I've still got to clear all of this. That branch has got to come off, all of that old trellis has got to come off, and then I'm taking this all down because this is going to be decked up to the end of the patio. And I'm just fed up of having to cut stuff up in small pieces, put it in a bag, carry it through the house. The old wood has to go into the bin, and we only get a tiny little black bin, and they empty it once a fortnight. It's nowhere enough for just for two of us. Our families deal with it, I have no idea. So, the point of the video. I have gone and got myself an incinerator. Now, I was going to get one of these anyway, because I want it for a project for the summer, which you will see eventually. At the moment, it's only October. Now, the reason it's black, I've been trying to, if you've ever had one of these, first time you use it, all this lovely shiny, it's supposed to be galvanised. I think it's galvanised paint, because the first time you use one, that all burns straight off, instantly. You've only got to show a bit of heat at these things, and it just comes off. Well, this is high temperature paint, and this is the stuff here. This is actually empty, I've used it all, which is why I've only sprayed it halfway up on the outside. But that's good, because there's a nice clear line here between where I've painted and where I haven't, and we'll get to see when I burn it whether this will actually do anything to protect it. I did manage to do the whole lid, but of course that's stuck on. I've done all the lid inside and out, and if I drop this down, you shall see that I've done the entire inside. So instead of it being all nice and shiny now, it's black, like it's already been used. I'm hoping, but this doesn't just burn off. It's high temperature paint. Now, one of the things with high temperature paint, nobody reads the instructions. You have to cure it. What that means is you have to actually gradually bring the paint up to temperature. You put a fire straight in there and it will burn the paint straight off. You've got to now harden the paint. Well, this I sprayed last night. The outside bits I just sprayed a few hours ago. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck a load of tea lights in the bottom of there, light it and put the thing on. I've got to work indoors because, well, outdoors is a bit of a no-no today. The rain has finally stopped, but the wind is still, when it gusts, it's an half go, I tell you. We've got some pretty interesting gusts today. But anyhow, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to chuck a load of tea lights in the bottom of here, light them, and put the lid on and see if we can get this to be hot, get it reasonably warm. You know you're not going to get it really hot with just tea lights in the bottom, but it will warm it up some. And I shall finish it off then, curing it, using the heat gun on the low setting, sort of a bit of range, just to bring it right up to temperature with that. I'm doing it indoors, which is something you should never do, because when you cure you are going to get fumes from the paint. But with the door wide open, we should be okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Looks like 17. I'll let you count them. Well, I think there's 17 tea lights in there. They're the long burn ones. Now, the trick to curing high temperature paint is to heat it up gradually and try and get it up to the temperature that it's going to be used at, or as close as you can get to it, or, you know, in the case of a fire, this is going to exceed the temperature of high temperature paint, so it will probably still burn it off, but some parts will remain. Now, I've never ever done this on something this size. I've cured the paint on small items to make them heat proof, but never anything this big. And I have no idea how hot they're going to get in there with all those candles. So we're going to start small and work our way up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to light just 4 candles, put the lid on and leave it for about 15 minutes. So we shall get the timer. And we'll plonk that just there for a minute. What's the time? So there's the actual time. We'll light 4. We'll try and light 4. That's if they light. There's 1. 2. 3. I'll light that one there. 4. So that's 4 lit. And we'll stick the lid on and we'll just leave that for about 15 minutes. And then we'll light another 4, 15 minutes, and so on until they're all alight. And hopefully it will heat it up some. Tell you what, this would be a cheap heat. If this works, this will not be a cheap heater in your house. Yeah, I may have come up with something here. I mean, I don't think you'd want one of these in your living room, but I don't know. There is a bit of heat coming out of there already. Wow, just for 4. Alright, I mean, it's not a stunning amount of heat, but it's definitely warm air coming out of there. Anyhow, what is it? 13:08. So we'll leave that to, what's 15 on that? 18:23. 13:23. And we'll have a check then and see how warm it is. Well, the time's gone over slightly. 24, nearly 25. You'd be surprised how much heat is actually coming out of there for just 4 tea lights. There's a nice little bit of, it's not, I mean, it's not hot, but there is a little bit of heat coming out of there. This is sort of, I'd say, around body temperature. It doesn't feel cold, but it doesn't feel warm anymore. When I started, it felt ice cold. Pretty much the same all the way down. It's cold at the bottom there still, but the body all the way up has warmed up. So what we're going to do, we're going to light another 4 tea lights. I'm not going to do it on camera because it's too hard holding the camera, but I'll show you when they're lit. Right, so we now got 8 going. Good job I didn't try to do it on camera because the cooker lighter I had was absolute crap. It died on me. So I had to go and get another cooker lighter, which has taken a bit more time up. But yep, we've now got 8 running. And the time now is 13:28. So what's that, more or less 1:45, isn't it? 15 minutes, 1:45, 2 minutes before. Okay, we'll see how hot it is and see how warm it's got by then. Okay, 43, we've had 15 minutes. I had to move it over to the door because it was starting to give off some fumes. It did start to smell. Lid, it does not feel that particularly much warmer. There's definitely more heat coming out the top, and the funnel's not that much warmer. Probably because I've moved it nearer the door, to be honest with you. That's cooling it off. Doesn't really feel any warmer than what it did before. There's definitely more heat coming out the top, mind, and there is a definite paint whiff from it. So we are curing the paint, but very, very gradually. So now we've got to try and get the lid off without tipping the whole thing up, which I should be able to do by leaving it like that. There we go. And we'll light another 4. For those who are interested, this particular one is 110 litre. I got it off Amazon, my favourite shop. Regular viewers will know that I buy pretty much everything off Amazon. to, it was about 25 quid I think. The paint, I can't remember how much that was. I bought it from Screwfix, not Screwfix, I got it from Toolstation. Screwfix did one as well. Was that 4 or was that 3? I don't know, I like another one just to be on the safe side. And that leaves 4 to light at the end. I might have lit 5 there, I don't know. Right, we'll stick the lid back on. Yeah, this is 110 litre. Most of these are 90 litres, and of course you can get the small tabletop ones. Incidentally, if you live in an area where you're likely to get power cuts, buying a small one of these, you don't have to paint it like I have, just leaving it as the bare metal, keeping it in the house, and chucking a load of tea lights in would make a lovely little emergency heater in the house, if you rely on electric to power your central heating or whatever, and you've been in a position where you're freezing because the electric's been off due to something like today, Storm Amy. We seem to be getting these storms a lot more these days. Yeah, wouldn't be a bad little investment. They're not that expensive, those little mini. They do like a mini version of these, a tabletop one. And you could put, you haven't got to put tea lights in it, you could just put normal candles in it. You could put Yankee candles in it, make the house smell nice. This is the paint, this is going in the bin because it's empty. But the reason I bought the one from Toolstation over Screwfix, simply because this one's rated at 50 degrees higher. This one's rated for 650 degrees. The one that Screwfix sells is 600 degrees. But they were both the same price. I think they were about £7.99 or £6.99, I can't remember. They were 7 or 8 quid, something like that. I don't hold up much hopes that this is actually going to work. I think because of that silver paint, because it's not galvanised, I think that's just galvanised paint they put on there. I think once that peels off, it's going to take this stuff with it. But we shall see. And we'll carry on curing it up. And we'll see how it goes. Anyway, 47. So that's about, what, 2 minutes past the hour? 2 minutes past 2. And we'll see what it's like then. Okay, so we've gone over 15 minutes. We're going to light the last 4. But what we're going to do this time, it's not going to be 15 minutes. I'm going to leave it for a good hour. That is quite warm, by the way. Yeah, these videos online of people using a couple of flower pots and a candle to heat the house. Yeah, don't believe it. I mean, there's... I don't know how many's burning in there now, but when I light the last one, there'll be 17. And you couldn't heat a house with this. It's warm. It is giving out heat. But you could warm your hands up, I suppose, if you're freezing. It would make a good little emergency heater if you had something similar going in the house. Heat a house? No. I wouldn't even heat a large room. Very small room, yeah. Take the nip off the room, definitely. But as a backup heater? No, not really. Right, disclaimer time. Do as I say, not what I do. Number 1, the fumes coming off this are quite obnoxious. It's nowhere near as strong as when I actually sprayed it. I mean, I sprayed it more or less where it is now, by the open door. And we've all used spray paint, or most people have. You know how smelly it is, and the acetone, it's quite strong, but you can put up with it. The fumes coming off this as I'm curing it aren't nowhere near as strong, but they are very, very noxious. It stinks, and you can feel it at the back of your throat. Even in, you know, inside, I've got it by the back door's wide open, it's blowing a gale outside. I can still feel it at the back of my throat. So I'm probably poisoning myself staying in here with it. So, not the best. So, number 1, don't do it indoors, do it outside. The only reason I'm not is because it's so windy today, it'll blow the tea lights out. Number 2, if you're using tea lights, yeah, there's holes in the bottom of this because it's a burner. There's ventilation holes in the bottom. And tea lights, sometimes the foil doesn't keep them, doesn't stay whole when you burn them. It gives out. And then the wax will run straight into the bottom of the burner, straight through the holes, straight onto your floor underneath. And if you're doing it on a carpet or lino or I don't know, anything really, even this in here, it's a safety floor. Boiling hot wax going on it, and of course it could potentially catch fire. So, not very good. So definitely you don't want to do this indoors like I am at the moment. I'm going to leave this now for about an hour, just to heat up as warm as it's going to get. It's not going to get hot. It is warm. It is warm to very warm to the touch, actually, on the top there. The rim's still pretty well. It's warmer than it was, but it's not hot. The sides here are very warm, all the way down. Till you get to the base. The base is still cold. The base hasn't got any heat in it at all. But most of it most definitely has heated up, and this will be curing the paint a certain amount. One last look inside so you can see them all burning. Doesn't that look pretty? Always something nice about fire. Anyhow, what I shall do, I'm going to leave this for an hour, maybe hour and a half, something like that. I'm not going to leave it unattended. I'm sitting in here with the washing. If I do have to go upstairs and leave this, I shall lift the whole thing and dump it outside, and if it blows out, it blows out. I'm really not happy leaving this unattended. After all, it's a fire and it's not contained in there. If the wax did leak, you could potentially burn the house down, and I know it's very unlikely. Got more chance of winning the lottery than it happening, but I don't want to take the chance. Err on the side of safety, as they say. And hour and a half, 2 hours time, whatever, I'm going to get the paint gun out. I'll put this outside then, because I can, providing it ain't hammering down the rain, because I've lost my cover now. As long as it's dry and not hammering down, I shall get the paint gun out, and I'll just stick the paint gun in the top and fire that up and try and heat it up with that. That's about as hot as I'm going to get. I could actually use the paint gun to, you know, go over it with, but I mean, that might be too severe. I don't know. I suppose if I did it from a distance it'd be okay. If I did it sort of this far off, it wouldn't take the paint off. It's trial and error. As I said right at the start, I've never done anything this big, so I'm not sure how to go about it. But it is definitely hot. I mean, this is getting hot now. This is actually getting hot. With 17 tea lights, it is hot. I mean, if you wanted to use one of these as a heater in the house, I reckon you'd need 25-30 tea lights in there, all candles. You're not going to get, well, 25 flames, should we say. 25-30 flames. You're not going to get a lot of heat out of one. I mean, there's a fair bit of heat coming out of there. It would definitely take the edge off a room, but as a viable heat source or a heater, no, it'd be okay in an emergency. Like I said, if you've got nothing else, if your power's out and your property relies totally on electric, then yeah, it's a good viable heater. But otherwise, no, there's better things you can do. Buy a little mini Caligas fire, or even a camping stove or something, just to heat the place up. But anyhow, we're not doing that. We're trying to extend the life of one of these burners. I don't know if I said at the start, I've had one of these before, and pretty much as soon as you use it, you ruin it. All that paint comes off and it immediately rusts, and eventually they just self-destruct. The seam pops out, or the base drops out. These handles usually come off. I've even had a flue come off one before. These handles always come off. These never last. They always fall off. I think they use aluminium rivets to put them on, which is totally ridiculous. But we'll see how it goes. This is all an experiment to see if this paint extends the life. And there's no sign of this storm passing over either. It's still, when it gusts, it gusts. But anyhow, we'll leave it there now, and we'll come back in an hour and a half's time, and we'll see how we go from there. Right, well, it's 3 o'clock. It's been an hour. I've finished doing my washing. That's all hanging up drying. I can't sit here with this any longer, so I'm going to have to put it outside, and if the wind blows the tea lights out, all well and good. As you can see, I stuck some foil over the top to stop the heat escaping, and that really has done the trick. This top now is very hot. You can still put your hand on it, but only just. The sides, you can't. They're actually too hot to touch now. all the way down to about there, and that's lukewarm there, but it is warm. Base is even the base is very slightly warm. Of course, as soon as I put it outside, it's going to start chilling down again, and the wind will probably blow the tea lights out, but we're not bothered about that. That's actually worked better than I thought it would, but unfortunately I can't spend any more time down here now. I've got other things I need to be doing, so I'm just going to pick this up and chuck it outside and hope for the best. If the wind blows the tea lights out, oh well, never mind. If they don't, all well and good. Either way, I'm not too worried. I've managed to heat the paint up. Nowhere near operating temperature, but I got it up quite hot, so it will help. And tomorrow, probably now, when this weather's decided what it's going to do, I shall go at it with a heat gun. I'm not going to do it today. I just can't be bothered. So that's the end of today, and we'll start on that again tomorrow. Well, good morning everybody. It's the next day, and what a difference a day makes. Look at this, we've got blue skies, wispy white clouds, and not a huge amount of wind. Storm Amy has done her worst. As you can see, I've now got a skylight in the gazebo. But we're going to patch that up. We're not going to do a fantastic job, because no doubt that's just the first storm of many. Anyhow, on to this. I never mentioned yesterday, with this particular one, cost me £25 something. You got a very nice pair of welder gloves, which I've been using in the garden, and they're really good. They're leather gloves, so they're going to come in very handy. And I bet they're like £5, £6, £7 a pair just to buy on their own. Right, do you remember what I was telling you yesterday about burning tea lights in the house? How some of them leak? Well, can you see that? That's all wax. By the way, the tea lights in this burnt until 9:30 yesterday evening. So they were good long burn tea lights, and they didn't blow out. 3 of them blew out. Just got to put this lid off. 3 of them blew out, but the rest all burnt. And can you see all that wax in there? Pretty much, near enough, every single tea light there leaked. Pretty much every single one, look. So that is why you should never burn tea lights loosely on their own. They should always be in a holder, or in something, on a saucer or something, where if they're going to leak, it can't actually go anywhere and do any harm. Because I don't know if you've ever spilt wax on a carpet or something, but it's a nightmare. Anyhow, on with today's video. What we're going to do, I'm going to get all those empties out of there, salvage the 3 that didn't burn, and I'm probably just going to leave the wax in it to burn it. I was going to bring this back up to temperature with a heat gun, but to be honest, I can't be bothered. It's sat with those tea lights in until 9:30 last night, and I came out a few times. Although it wasn't as hot as what it was in the house, it was still warm. So I figure, although I didn't take it up to a high temperature, the very fact that it was heated for such a long while should have cured this paint, at least partially, if not fully. But anyhow, we're going to have a little clean up now, and I'll get this, it's going over there, I've cleared a space ready for it to go, and we're going to fill it up, and we're going to give it just a single burn. I'm going to fill it up, bung a fair few bits in it, because we just want to see what happens to the paint, whether this stove paint or high temperature paint helps to protect the bin or not, which is the whole purpose of the video. Like I showed you yesterday, I only sprayed it halfway up. Actually I ran out of paint, but it's actually a good thing, because we'll be able to compare this surface to this surface. So we'll pause that, and I'll load the bin up, and then we'll light it and we'll get it going. So we've shredded up a load of cardboard and put in the bottom there, broken up some trellis, because that's nice light wood, put over the top, a few twigs, a couple of thicker branches, nothing too substantial, and I'm going to squirt some petrol on it. This petrol, not stuff for a car. That's not the best idea if you've ever done it. You tend to lose your eyebrows if you're not careful. This is more than enough to... You only want to get the cardboard going. Once the cardboard's going, it will burn. I'll give it a little squirt over, just to be on the safe side. Got my lighter. Get a bit of tissue. Like the tissue, which is easier said than done in this wind. There we go. And drop that down there, and that should catch. Hopefully. Yes, that's going. I think it's called the cardboard. Is that called the cardboard? I think so. Oh yeah, that's going. These welder's gloves, by the way, they're pretty cool. Very thick, large size, so even if you've got big massive hands you're going to be alright with them. Yep, this ain't going to take long to get going, especially with this wind blowing. No more rumping the stuff all through the house and out the front, because I've got loads of crap to burn. There's all these bits of wood, there's all that, there's all that, there's all that under there. So, that's smoking a bit, I'm going to have to move from there. That's smoking a lot. But I think that will get it going. Right, well, I'm sure you don't want to watch just a fire going for God knows how long. So we'll pause the video there and I'll come back when I've got it going nicely. Tell you what, there's a fair bit of heat coming off it. Well, as you can see, the paint that they put on it has instantly burnt off. Completely gone, look. But for fire paint, or very high temperature paint, I just call it fire paint, that seems to have stood up quite well. I can't see anything wrong with that at all. So at the moment I'm going to mark that up as a success. Come around this side again. As you can see, the old fire paint has stood up quite well. Also the inside, which I spray, that's not black from the fire, I sprayed that. So far a great success. But of course we're going to let this burn out now. I'm not going to load any more in it. I'm going to let this burn down, let it cool down, and we'll empty the ashes out, and then we'll have a good look and see what the paint's actually like. But I think it's a bit hard work painting these things, but I think it could be worth it. Looking at it, God, smoking. Looking at it, I think I made a good choice. But time will tell. So we're going to leave it there. It's pretty much burnt itself out now. It's just smouldering away. I'm just going to leave all that crap in it, because now I want to do a rust test. You can see all that silver paint, and it is silver paint. Is it galvanised? Is it heck? What load of old crud. It might be galvanised paint, but that's as far as it goes. So what I'm going to do now is literally leave that right there for a week. Let it get rained on. I'll put the lid on, just for fairness, because it's supposed to have a lid on. But I find this seems to work better without the lid for some reason. I don't know for why. But once it's finished smouldering down and it stopped smoking, I'll stick the lid on, and I'm going to leave it for a week, and we'll do a rust test. We'll see whether the stuff I've painted rusts, or whether it's just the stuff that's burnt off that rusts. I suspect I know what's going to happen, but it's a good experiment, and I'm interested to find out, especially the lid, because the lid's going to be getting exposed to the worst of it. And I don't know if you can see in it, if it comes out on the camera or not, but I didn't really spray it that thickly because I was running low on paint. So it is a bit thin on there for paint in places. Although in fairness, the lid hasn't been on very much. I did have it on for about 20 minutes, but the fire was just smouldering, so there's not a huge amount of heat gone into the lid. So yeah, we'll get this video uploaded. It will be a two-parter, this one. We'll come back, see how bad it's looking after a week in the weather, and then we'll set about cleaning the rust off, giving it I'll buy another can of that VHT paint, and we'll give it a spray up with that, because I think the paint is definitely the way to go. I'm sorry I didn't spray the whole thing now, but we wanted to find out if it worked, and it certainly looks like it does. Anyhow, that's all for today. We'll upload this video. Keep an eye out for the follow-up, and we'll actually see whether you can extend the life on these things, but it's beginning to look like you can. So I know I said I was going to upload it, but it's the next day. I had a thought about it, and I thought, no, I'm not going to leave it to go rusty, because then I'll just have to clean the rust off. I mean, I know that's what's going to happen. It'll just go red rusty, and then I've got to rub it all down. And at the moment, it's still all nice and smooth and clean, so I can just paint it. So I've been and bought another can. £9, by the way. So, have I been a bit silly? It's cost me £18 so far for the paint, and I only paid 25 for the bin. Oh, you're better off just buying one and leaving it to go rusty. I don't know. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. I mean, if it lasts a lot longer, of course I'm not going to be able to cure this one like I did before. Yeah, I know my spraying's not the best, but put it into context, it's an incinerator bin. It's not going to win any beauty prizes, is it? And at least I'm doing it outside this time, so it don't stink so bad. Right, what I didn't think of is how I'm going to turn it round. I can do that like that, easy. Easy. All them lovely runs. Like I care. Well, I suppose the real trick is after you've used one of these, is when it's gone cold, put it somewhere out of the weather. But nobody does that, everybody just leaves them out in all the weather, which is probably what I'll end up doing in the end. But providing I don't leave it burning for hours on end, I probably will put a plastic bag over the top of it and try and keep the worst of the rain off it. I'm going to leave this overnight to go off, and then tomorrow I probably will give it a little bit of a cure up. I'll try and burn the stuff that's in it and nothing else, so that gives it a chance to heat it up, but not really too hot, if you know what I mean. I've still got the old rear where it had the lid on, look, it protected the zinc paint there. Am I wasting my time? I don't know. Oh, there's people that spray for a living are cringing right now watching me. Lovely job, look at that. Hey? I'll be doing cars next. Maybe not. Tanks maybe. It's covering it. Like I said, it's just a garden incinerator. It hasn't got to be pretty. It's got to work. Oh, it's going to get painted as well. Loads of runs. If you're bored of watching me spray, just skip ahead a bit. I think I'm nearly round now. I don't know whether to stop the video or keep recording. I'll keep recording, there's only this bit to do. One last section and I'm done, so I might as well leave it recording. I've come this far. Last little bit. Tell you what, the stuff goes off quick. Let me move me leg. There we go. I mean, if you're spraying something that matters, like a barbecue people are going to look at or something, you want to be a bit more careful than this. But for this, that'll do. All I'm trying to do is stop it from rusting, which I'm pretty confident I should have done. I don't know whether to put a little bit more on the lid, because some of it hasn't taken so well. Like on the side there, you can see where I've missed a load. I might do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do it today. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow if I'm going to do it. When I light the damn thing again. Now, there's not a lot left in there, so it should be fine to burn that little bit. If I put a bit of paper, and it should all be tinder dry because it was burnt before. That's just the stuff that didn't actually burn, so it should have dried out. So we'll stick a bit of paper in there tomorrow, light it, and hopefully that will cure the paint. Anyhow, we'll leave it there and we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Well, it's about 4 or 5 hours later, and what I've done, I've just put a bit of paper in there and lit underneath the twigs. I just wanted to burn it a little bit to try and cure the paint. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but there is a definite colour difference in what I've sprayed to what it was burnt with the other day. That, I presume that is the curing process. It's had plenty long enough to dry without any heat. So I'm hoping this isn't going to burn too madly, and it's going to sort of putter out in about 5-10 minutes. That, I can smell the paint. It is definitely curing off. You can smell it from here, and that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Whereas I used the tea lights for last time, I'm actually using the fire to do it this time, but very sort of hopefully restricted. That's not really going to catch and will go out pretty quick and just smoulder away and just keep it hot, basically. That's what I'm hoping for anyhow. Right, so this will be the last clip of me actually using it. What I'm going to do now is use it over the next week or so. I'm not going to cover it or anything, I'm just going to leave it out in the elements and use it. I've got loads of burning to do, which is why I bought it. Well, actually I bought it for a project for the summer, but whether it survives that long, who knows. But this will be the actual last clip of me using it. And then we'll have a look at it in a week or two's time and see what it looks like. And whether it's survived or not. That's providing I can get this lighter to light. Okay. Now it worked when I checked it in the kitchen. Why doesn't it work out here? Does anything work? God's sake. It's just lighting and going straight out. Must need gas. Okay, take two. I'll put some gas in it now. And there we go, we got some smoke. Hopefully that'll catch. If not, I can always relight it if it doesn't. No, the smoke's increasing. I think we're going. I think we're alive. There's loads of cardboard in the bottom of that, by the way. So if this is ever going to burn, yeah, well, we got nice healthy flames now, look. Right, time to retreat because I don't want to stink. Right, we'll come back when that's going. So I'm making a bit of smoke. I don't want to get too close to that because it stinks and I don't want to stink. I've done that the other day. As you can see, I've shoved the lid on and I'm just going to leave it to smoulder away. The thing with the lid on is they don't burn as quickly, but they do burn a lot better because the stuff keeps on burning, it doesn't go out. If you leave the lid off, it'll burn fast, but they tend to go out unless the stuff's all tinder dry. But when you're cutting it down, that's not the case. So I'm just going to leave that now for as long as it likes to do its thing. And as I said before, I'm going to keep this going for the next week or so. And then we'll have a detailed look at the bin and see how it stood up. I mean, I can't do nothing about the welds or the forming. If that's not up to the task and it goes from the heat, then there's not a lot I can do about that. But the whole point of this video is anybody who's ever bought one of these or owned one, you know that as soon as you use it, the paint burns straight off. Well, I've proved that. The so-called galvanised coating that they say, it's galvanised paint, it burns straight off. I mean, galvanising is this bucket here, which is about 30 years old, came from the wife's mother, and as you can see, it still hasn't rusted, it still holds water. That's how they used to make them. That's galvanising. That's not, that's just galvanised paint, and it's only a thin coat of that. So it's all down to the strength of the metal, whether it's a strong enough gauge, the strength of the welds or the forming, where they put it together, or the rivets, wherever they join them up and make them. It's all down to the strength of that. I mean, I've read some horrendous things that the handles come straight off because they used aluminium rivets and all sorts of stories. But we shall see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to use this for a week or so. Maybe a fortnight before I upload this video. And the very last clip I'll do, we'll have a good examination of the actual bin and see what it looks like. Well, it's been a good 4 hours. And as you can see, the paintwork's still pretty well intact. It's actually still alight. If we come down over the top, I don't know if you can see that. No, it just looks grey to you, but let me tell you, there's lots of heat coming off it. That's still smouldering away in there. But the paint seems to have stood up quite well. I think it's gone on the inside of the chimney there, because that looks a bit white to me. So I think it may have burnt off on the inside of the chimney there. Won't know about the inside until later. We've got this bit here, for some reason it's a weird shape there, like the paint's cracked or something, but all in all the paint stood up quite well. You can see the difference in finish there from where I cured all that properly, and this top part I didn't, but the paint is still on there, so all in all it's quite successful. I mean, whether it's worth doing or not, that's a different matter, and a matter of opinion, I think. I mean, you can buy these for 17 quid. This was a dear one, this one was 25. But it's 110 rather than 90. And that just makes it a little bit taller. That's how they get the 20. It's the same sort of diameter. It's just a little bit taller. And you get a pair of welder's gloves with it, which are, in fairness, are really good quality. Probably cost a good 5-6 quid each to buy on their own. Maybe dearer. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes now. We'll leave this. Well, I'm going to go on using it for the next couple of weeks. You can see I've still got plenty to chop down. All that trellis has got to go, and the bushes, all that stuff over the top of the fence. I am gradually recovering the fence, as you can see, and all this lot here's got to go. Hello, Belle. All this lot's got to go as well. There's an old obelisk thing I built a couple of years ago that's rotted. That's going to go, because this is all going to be decked eventually. That's a project sort of like going into next year, but we're doing it bit by bit as the money allows. All them bits of wood, I'm going to burn all of those, and we'll have a look at this then in the final video. The final clip will be tagged onto the end here, what it looks like in a week's time or a fortnight's time. Depends on the weather. I mean, they forecast dry at the moment, just the occasional shower. I mean, it's spitting now, but it's only very, very light. And we just want to see if she rusts up. If it doesn't rust, then it's a successful endeavour. But 18 quid for paint, you can buy them for 17. Are you better off buying two? I don't know. I'm happy with it. It's kind of down to you. So far I'm happy with it. The real test is going to be when it gets rained on. I mean, sensible, I'd chuck a bag over it when it's cold and stick one of them big black things over the top of it to stop the rain going on it. That'd be the smart move. Obviously you can't do that while it's still hot, but once it cools down you could cover it over. But for the purpose of the video I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it get soaking wet and see what happens. Well, it's been nearly 3 weeks, and you can have a look around if you can see through the smoke. I've been busy. I've had about, I don't know, a dozen fires in it, and it's standing up quite well so far. We've had lots of rain. There's no rust on it, as you can see, on the lid or on the actual fire itself. So a little bit of rust around the top there where it's burnt the paint off, but other than that, considering how these things rust, I'm going to chalk that up as a pretty good success. I'm pretty pleased with it. So this is the last video on this, and the conclusion is, yes, you can extend the life of them by painting them. Whether you want to go to the expense of actually doing that, that's up to you, kind of thing. As I said, this was a dear one. This one was 25 quid, but it did come with a nice pair of gloves, and it's a bit bigger than the regular ones. But I've seen those 17 litre ones, the standard sort of dustbin shaped ones. I've seen them, the average price is 17, but I've actually seen them in one of my local ironmongers for 15 quid. So yeah, and you know how much I spent on paint, I said it earlier. So it's kind of up to you which way you want to go, whether you want to spend that money or not. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. We'll upload the video. Hopefully this will be a bit of advice to somebody on whether it's worth doing or not. Me personally, yes it is. If you can double the life, then it's worth it. Anyhow, I'm getting smoked out, so we're going to knock it on the head there because I'm going in. Catch you all later. Bye for now.